Mr. Fields, there's been some allegations against you by your oldest brother Julian and his employer, Cavius. They're alleging that you raped your sister, Sasha.
Oh God, there's a lot to unpack here.
What's wrong?
Shit!
Anyway, we need to gather a surplus of evidence to prove your innocence and
I and several other members of my family accused him of murdering Uncle John. After the accusations, he was never thrown behind bars, but tossed onto the streets by my Aunt Lilla.
If you can gather evidence that these statements made by Cavius Insane and Julian Fields are slanderous, we can clear your name and have them imprisoned. We can kill two birds in one stone.
My concern is the cost.
You won't have to worry about the cost. We'll do everything for free. I've assembled a coterie of lawyers. We'll be your defense team from here on out. Expect the highest quality of service, and a few surprises.
What lawyers?
Good friends and several acquaintances, don't worry.
So I don't pay anything?
You don't pay anything until you win, and if you don't win, you don't pay anything at all.
I better win. It's my brother, Vivian.
Don't answer. You don't want to provide him with information he could use against you.
You're right. I shouldn't. Hey bro. I heard you consider your wife so precious. Come down with 10 grand and get her before you find her with a bullet in her head.
Don't go down there. He's trying to anger you. He's trying to use what you love against you. Don't answer to his ransom.
He's trying to start a fight, and they'll grant his offer. I'm going down there.
Don't stoop down to his level. Remember, the court can use that against you. You don't want to cause trouble before, during, or after a trial. That must be my other client. I have to go. I'll see you when the trial starts. Be there at 9 o'clock, and remember, don't take up any ransom deals. Let the authorities handle things.
Thank you, Mr. Vance.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my client, Casey Fields, is the prime example of the law-abiding citizen, someone who not only follows the law down to every passage, every inked word, but also brings to justice those who abuse or refuse to follow it. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my client, Casey Fields is an upstanding, well-meaning man with a wife and 2 children. Tell me, just and fair jurors, would you dare imprison a moral man because of charges made by liars? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I stand here before you today to tell you that my client, Casey Pinecone Fields, is an innocent man, who did nothing to deserve these horrendous charges feigned by those trying to slander his name. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I stand here before you today to tell you that my client is an innocent man, that we know who the real perpetrators of lying are, that we know the real fraudsters. And the fraudsters in this room are not my client and I, but the formerly renowned prosecutor Cavius Insane, and the slandering brother Julian Fields. And with that, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I rest my case. Mr. Fields, you look presentable.
I thought I'd shake myself up for the jurors.
Anyway, after long negotiation, Cavius agreed to drop your charges, and he's now behind bars alongside Julian. Also, there's friends who want to see you, and I have another client to meet. I'll see you later. I promise you, Jerry, the United Nations won't execute your ass for your war crimes against humanity.
How do you know that?
World domination isn't a crime. Besides, you've got the best defense attorney right here looking at you.
What are we doing here then?
I want you to speak to another world invader I know for some reassurance.
I think you remember me.
Mastermind, you haven't aged a bit.
I'm certainly growing a few gray patches here and there. You, however, look different. But that's okay, because I am not here for a beauty pageant contestant. I'm here for a fellow enjoyer of the conquering of worlds.
I see where you're going with this.
What I'm proposing is, you lie to the court. Play them for fools.
Lie to them?
They'll never see it coming.
What about you?
They won't listen to me, but they still might give you a chance. You have a quality I don't have, you're human, that means you're like them.
I guess.
Then it's settled.
We better get going, Jerry.
I'm coming.
I'm going to be attending university with Sasha abroad. I was selected to be a part of the same exchange program she enrolled in. Then I'll be shipped across the globe to lead relief missions. Sadly, I probably won't be able to return home. When do you expect to return home? Maybe never. It depends on how long I have left to live. Jero? What do you mean? Yusuf, I have cancer. The doctor says I only have 1 year to live, and my exploits will likely fill that time snugly. Chances are, I might pass out during one of the relief missions, and die on the way to the hospital. You had cancer, and you didn't tell me this entire time. I could have helped you, Jero. I didn't want to put the burden on you. I didn't want to make you mad at me. You're not a burden, Jero. You were never a burden. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Let's make our last days together memorable. Sure, bro, we can do that. Hey, don't worry. We have an hour before my flight takes off. Come, let's go hit on some girls.